Hi everyone, my name is Lena Faulkner and this is my week 7 discussion board. So to begin and choose the government agency, I wanted to stick with law enforcement because I've kind of been using them all block long. And I ended up finding a code of ethics for Pima County Sheriff's Department in Arizona. So originally I chose the 4 compliance topics you see listed here that are highlighted, but I actually think I'm going to change the last one to enforcing the law without favor and never accepting gratuities. I believe this falls better under a compliance topic opposed to dedicating myself before God. I don't know how an organization could, monitor or measure that. My thesis statement is the Pima County Sheriff's Department Code of Ethics has been shaped by history and consists of various ethical theories that now mold the framework of value-based ethical training. The first section of my paper is going to cover the history of ethics in law enforcement. I plan to cover how ethics has grown in importance over the years and highlight examples of whistleblowing and ethical dilemmas that have arisen in law enforcement and, having brought light to problems and led to change. Then next, on section 3 of my outline, I plan to cover the 4 compliance topics. So first, when discussing the fundamental duty of serving mankind, I'll bring in Aristotle and the virtue theory. I can bring in Aquinas and the natural law theory, utilitarianism, and you can read all the, notes on the slide for specific details and incorporation, into the paper. But likewise, with the topic of respecting the constitutional rights of all people to liberty, equality, and justice, here I'm going to again bring in the natural law theory, and then also bring in contractarianism and Kant's categorical imperatives. So next, still in the same section, I'll cover the topic of being honest in thought and deed in both personal and official life. I think this still can fall under compliance. It's an expectation. It's something that can be evaluated. Obviously if an officer is dishonest and they get caught, stealing, they've broken the code of ethics, they've broken the law. So for this, I plan to tie in the divine command theory and the virtue theory. And then on the last one, like I said earlier, I'm thinking about changing it. I really don't see how a department can force or even monitor, compliance per se. I mean, you can ask someone to dedicate themselves before God and they can say yes. And all you can do is just look at, listen to their verbal words. So they can say yes, but it could be a lie. How can you really tell for sure? So I'm going to take all these notes and probably use them in my conclusion to be able to bring in the needed biblical perspective. And then I'll tie it all together with the divine command theory, contractarianism, and the natural law theory. So next in section 4, I plan to discuss how often ethics trainings are performed. I conducted a phone interview with Lieutenant Ogden with the Pima County Sheriff's Department, and I got a lot of information from him. So definitely everything in this section I'm going to be able to touch on and speak on and write about. And lastly, besides my conclusion, I plan to cover the foundations of Pima County's Code of Ethics, if it's values-based, if it's, versus compliance-based. I will tell you it's definitely values-based. The lieutenant stated to me during the interview that, they want deputies to do the right thing because it is the right thing to do, not because they have to do it, and the job says to do it, but because it is the right thing to do. So I'm going to touch on all of that, and I'm going to touch on the fact that different departments may have different code of ethics. So, administrators, for example, who work solely in the department and they never have any civilian contact, their code of ethics may be different from, patrol officers who have daily civilian contact because the ethical dilemmas that they face are going to be different. So that is it, and thank you for your time.